Wednesday. This Wednesday is Caitlin Clark's. How appreciative are we? How fortunate are we to be in June? Caitlin Clark has emerged as a top content creator in this market, which is waiting for football season. Aaron Rodgers is another topic we may discuss. For Caitlin Clark, I stand. Rumors of a Caitlin Clark trade? Colin Cowherd is now adding fuel to the fire. He just spoke, and what he had to say could rock the WNBA as a whole. Colin Cowherd came out and made some remarks that, my perspective, are quite clear. But I think many people could be surprised if they aren't very interested in the league and are just interested in sports in general. However, he discusses trading Caitlin Clark from the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever are not merely taking a chance on rebuilding if they truly let go of their best player. They're taking a chance to everything. Let's examine Cowherd's warning to the league and the reasons he may be correct. The WNBA is here now. Caitlin Clark's skills have improved rapidly. For Michael Jordan, it's similar to the end of his first or third year. She has quickly become quite skilled. She will embarrass you, therefore you must either double-team her or throw a body on her. She's making 33-foot shots. And what took place most recently, one consequence of that is night. This is what MJ experienced. In every offensive metric, she ranks first and second. Compared to Steph Curry's first MVP season, she is making more three-pointers this season. And you're embarrassed by her game. Even Colin Cowherd, who rarely holds back, was surprised by how far things had gone when he began discussing the Caitlin Clark trade rumors. Let my man Colin Cowherd talk, while Caitlin Clark does her thing. Give it up in the player voting. Caitlin Clark came in 9th place. In fact, when it came to player voting, she came in second to one of her colleagues. Oh no, regarding the All-Star match. Oh no, there are no limits to the pettiness. However, it's intriguing. The WNBA players were blaming each other for years. Yes, people are sexist, the media is sexist, and we're not getting promoted. They were saying we don't receive enough credit. Then they get the golden goose, and they don't like the way it looks. How many times that happens in life, right? We all believe we know what we want, don't we? He pointed it out. It's no longer about basketball. This is whistleblowing sabotage. Let's discuss what you are all discussing, which is how Caitlin Clark was treated disrespectfully and slighted during the WNBA All-Star voting. Isn't this crazy? We are all aware of Caitlin Clark's identity. For the WNBA to thrive, she is the golden goose that lays the golden eggs. As a matter of fact, we frequently observe that the WNBA is restraining this natural force. Caitlin Clark and this golden goose. Consider that. Clark is already the league's most valuable player despite only being a rookie. Not only by skill, but also by financials. She is reportedly on the trade block. Despite this, not because the Fever are done with her, nor because she failed, but because she achieved success too quickly. The alarm was raised by a herd of cows. The Indiana Fever wouldn't be the only team to suffer by trading Clark. The WNBA as a whole would be devastated. 9th in the league for guards. Well, this was one of the more annoying things I witnessed yesterday because, to me, it gets to the point where Caitlin Clark's peers rank her as the 9th best guard in the league. Either jealousy or illusion is to blame. Because Caitlin Clark isn't treated like the 9th best basketball player when you see her play guard, as if she were the 10th best guard. They don't pick her up full court. When she crosses half court, they don't attack her like she's the 9th best guard. She is not double-teamed as if she were the 9th best guard, as if she were the 10th greatest guard. They don't foul her. Therefore, I think it's either jealousy or a delusion to rate her as the 9th greatest guard. That's what I've been told, not able to imply it is. Furthermore, I'm not referring to a specific WNBA player. I'm referring to the WNBA players because it's absurd that you voted her as the 9th best guard. When you consider her to be the best, second best, or worst, he's not incorrect. She is a once-in-a-lifetime attraction. Millions of people are watching because of her. Therefore, why even consider trading her? 'Cause basketball is just one aspect of this? There have been signs. The minutes for Clark are down. At crucial times, she is being benched. The offense is obviously not run through her by the Fevers. New coach, and it's not subtle either. Clark's absence is intentional rather than the result of an injury. Colin Cowherd noted that this is a setup rather than a coaching mismatch. Fans concur with his assertion that Clark was politically marginalized, rather than just benched. Indiana girl, Iowa girl. Who knows, though? I have been saying this for years. Ride the wave when it comes. You have no idea how it appears. Don't resist. They didn't argue when Puka Auer was selected in the 5th round by the Rams, and everyone in camp said, "Oh, we just found a new #1 receiver. It's better than Cooper Kupp." They didn't fight it, but after a year they said, "Well, we're going with Brady." And Drew Bledsoe remained excellent. This clearly has a racial component. You know, the WNBA players simply dislike the way the wave appears. Well, that's Colin's way of saying that you don't want that white girl heading this league while all these sisters have been in charge. And that you're upset about his pettiness, because Colin avoids discussing race-related topics there. Point is that he says, you guys are going to blow this chance. And by mess up, I mean simply refuse to do it. The coach was employed to manipulate Clark rather than to give her more authority. Under the guise of team building, it is a power play. However, everyone seeing is aware of the true situation. Although the team chose Clark #3, the fans voted him #1, the 9th. Take a moment to process that. If you are hated by someone, you will be loved by others simply because other people despise you. You were named the 9th greatest guard by your peers, which makes me think of Caitlin Clark and the predicament she's in right now with the W. They should treat you as the 9th best guard. So why not? No, they don't, because there must be a form of jealousy or delusion present here. Additionally, Caitlin, you will be hated by others since so many people think well of you. And that's what I believe we're witnessing here. I won't sit here and claim that she is hated by WNBA players. Hatred is a subjective term. Dick Vitale called it out on the 9th. It's just jealousy. Clark has provided full arenas, pay increases, and charter flights. Nevertheless, she is receiving punishment. Why? Because she instantly became the league's face. And that doesn't sit well with everyone. The finest words were Cowherd. The Golden Goose's appearance bothers them. At one point, the players demanded attention. Some of them are shielding their eyes now that it's here. They desired to take a private flight. They desired greater popularity. They will receive the better deal they sought in the CBA. They desired arenas to be sold out. They succeeded. They simply don't believe that this is the right way to conduct things. Have you ever experienced that? Even though you don't like her? You had to go to him and her to achieve what you wanted. You dislike it, and you dislike him. Would you like it? But you can't fight it, though. The definition of success is just unknown. Every business in the nation would be thrilled to go viral every day for free advertising. After all, they would all go viral every day if they knew how. Basketball isn't the only sport Caitlin Clark plays. A whole league is being carried by her. A professor of finance at the university did the math. In her first season, Clark was responsible for more than 12% of the WNBA's economic activities. She has already committed to Nike for $128 million. When she arrived, the WNBA's product sales took off. Over 50% increase in viewership when she performs. Just her draft drew 45 million people watched. Take a moment to process that. An Iowa rookie made it happen. So what is the role of the league? He begins spreading trade rumors. I saw this today. It's intriguing. Thus, a finance professor from a university determined Caitlin Clark's worth for WNBA. This is crazy. When Caitlin Clark joined the WNBA last season, she was a rookie on the league's poorest team, accounting for 26% of all economic activity. She currently has a $128 million 8-year contract with Nike. For that reason, she is going to eat. A rookie from a Midwest school on the league's lowest team received 234% of the league's merchandise. However, this one really got to me. Thus, the Indiana Fever were worth $90 million before she arrived. Keep in mind that their season is brief. It's not as long as the NBA, which lasts roughly 6 months. That squad is currently valued at $340 million after playing, 40 games. Employ a coach who has a track record of ignoring her and pretending to be surprised when others challenge their reasoning. You don't trade that, the Cowherd cautioned them. The Cowherd shouted it out once more. This isn't about stats. This is about control. You guard it like the Ark of the Covenant. A player with real leverage is the last thing they want. A Clark is more than good. She is well-liked, strong, and unstoppable. Thus, the league is acting in its one area of expertise: smother, the limelight. They are attempting to gradually reduce her size till she conforms to their standards. Herds of cows likened it to sabotage. Employ the coach who doesn't encourage her. In important games, bench her to conceal the agenda. Use catchphrases like system fit and team balance. They don't want her in charge, he said. Diluting her is what they desire. It is visible to fans. Each and every benching, each ambiguous post-match statement, and each silent action behind the scenes. This isn't a change in culture, it's a campaign. A well-planned attempt to regain control from a player who grew too large too quickly. What would happen then if they did trade her? Colin Cowherd is straightforward. It would be a blatant insult to the league's future and its supporters. The Fever lose their only true asset if Clark is traded. Draw. The fans start to leave as the WNBA loses steam. She is the plot, the highlight reel, and the reason for the jump in ratings. She is more than just a player, and you're not rebuilding. If you give that up, you're disappearing. The last warning from Cowherd was scathing. When the supporters depart, don't hold Clark responsible. Take a look at the coach. Take a look at the front desk. Take a look at the league that permitted it. Since Clark isn't the issue, the advancement is her. She won't be the antagonist if they push her away. The escape artist will be her. The WNBA would lose more than simply a star if they trade Caitlin Clark. They will also lose their soul. The game was altered by her. The fans were brought by her. She set the standard higher. They now want to pretend that it's excessive? Let us rest. People never forget this type of short-sighted action. What do you think then? Is Clark better off staying and fighting, or leaving and taking her power with him? Leave a comment below with your opinions. Do you think the league needs to improve? Use the like button. Remember to subscribe as well. It's one video at a time. We're revealing every turn in this story. A moment. Isn't this what occurs? This is the result. I take it that you have competitive ladies that are the finest in their field. Additionally, they will compete and support their teammates if you let them play physically and let these instances occur. After intense competition, it's precisely what you would expect. The WNBA's hatred of Caitlin Clark has gotten out of hand and is rapidly getting out of control. What began as physical play has evolved into dangerous targeting, court assaults, cyberbullying, and players making cheap shots with no repercussions. Additionally, the league is simply allowing it to occur. Is there anyone on this team who will defend Caitlin Clark? Throughout the game, JCS Sheldon grabbed Caitlin Clark and clawed at her. People, it seems like there was a fight tonight. It was a fight tonight. As I sat there, I think Clark is the target in game after game. Her coach is enraged. NBA players are voicing their opinions. The media is now questioning whether the WNBA has lost all control. Additionally, the league's reputation suffers with each hit and missed call. The WNBA is gaining popularity. Sponsors are keeping a careful eye on everything. The frightening thing comes next. Everything Caitlin Clark has worked so hard to build for the league might be destroyed if this continues. How did things become this awful then? Can the WNBA even stop it at this point? Let's shatter it completely down. Hello, I'm Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever's guard. Gets hit from three, gets bumped, and will take. One game is no longer the focus of this. One fight isn't enough. Everyone can see the trend in the WNBA's Caitlin Clark issue. McCoy, Shady, Clark, Caitlin. Is she the target of someone? She does indeed. However, that's all right, man. You know, it's funny. It seems like we segregate women's basketball from other sports when we discuss it, don't we? From basketball, the NBA, and football. And we shouldn't. She deserves all the excitement that greeted her when she entered the league. Although the targeting of Clark began during her debut season, it has now escalated to a risky new degree. Take a look at the figures. Caitlin Clark was the target of more than 17% of all flagrant fouls this season. Caitlin Clark is the target of 17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls this season. Cheers. Oh, indeed, sir. Clark is the target of 17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls. 80% of the egregious crimes against Clark were committed by the Chicago Sky. Ooh, it's the great white height, you know? Shannon, there's nothing. You simply wish to back that. White chick, you're all being busted by her? Hey, I won't call you by name because there is a woman. All of you had a lot to share. I was even tagged by you all. Why don't you tell? And that's the only name that has been used. Clark is being shoved, hacked, and groped in game after game, yet the referees usually ignore it. Okay, it's a lag wide. Failing, not just poor officiating, coach of the Indiana Fever was best expressed by Stephanie White. This has persisted throughout the season. It affects the entire league. What had happened to the Chipotle? What justification did you receive? For the technician you received? Well, let me handle the formal inquiries. The tech she received had no explanation. I believe it was rather clear that something was going on, don't you think? When the authorities fail to maintain control over the game, when they permit such things to occur, and it's been neckering during the season. During the entire season, this game is not the only one. It has persisted throughout the season. This is what occurs, isn't it? This is the result. I take it that you have competitive ladies that are the finest in their field. Additionally, if you let children engage in physical play and let these things occur, they will compete and have their damn support. The intense competition is just what you would expect, isn't it? Additionally, since this is no longer just physical basketball, you can tell something is very wrong when coaches are criticizing the league in post-game interviews. That's hatred. The WNBA's biggest issue right now is the disdain for Caitlin Clark, and it's getting out of hand. On-court assaults, such as the most recent body check and eye poke. Clark is being targeted by gamers, both online and in games. The mistreatment is equally severe. The leadership of the WNBA has not been able to stop it. Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner, was mute. The games are becoming less within the referee's authority. It's now becoming a public relations catastrophe. The league is being referred to as a circus by fans. NBA players are voicing their opinions. Paul George, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett are all denouncing what's going on and supporting Clark. I have always had a sense of commitment to every player on the club. Even back in my Minnesota days, man. And it boosts confidence, dude. Did you know? It has aided consistency. In addition, you have to protect your greatest player if you want them to be your best player. Additionally, supporters are beginning to doubt the league. Here's where it gets worse, though, because the Indiana Fever players had to take matters into their own hands because the WNBA was doing nothing, as Clark's enforcer, Sophie Cunningham, has now taken over. Cunningham is sending a message to the rest of the league with each game. Reach out to Clark and take care of me. It's also increasing the spectacle, but it's working. Sophie Cunningham finally had enough. Yes, exactly. People, Sophie Cunningham had had enough. A special thanks to Sophie Cunningham. We were looking for someone who would say, "I'm sick of this. I'm trying to step up. It's time to step up. We're going to stop getting punched, being pushed around, and being treated like little siblings, instead of brawls and fight headlines. We're going to start being the ones who say, you know what? We're not going to start the fight. But we damn sure will finish the fight instead of basketball." Ejections, chaos, and fans watching for the drama rather than the sport are unsustainable. The league's reputation is being harmed. The focus is now on the league's inability to protect its biggest star rather than the skill on the court. Now for the part the WNBA should be most afraid of, ratings. When Caitlin Clark missed, if you look at this, the viewership, right? People aren't watching WNBA just to watch it. They're watching because of Caitlin Clark. 5 games, ratings plummeted. Attendance fell, sponsors noticed, and owners are now terrified. Another injury to Clark could destroy everything the league has built, and the risk increases with every missed call and cheap shot. Yes, sir. And I'm guilty of, because I'm one of those guys. Oh, is Caitlin playing today? I'm watching it. Oh, she's hurt. But the league's failure is doing more than just hurting ratings. It's dividing the fans. The WNBA's refusal to fix the officiating has fueled a culture war. Now it's not just Fever fans against each other. The WNBA has created this issue and may not be able to stop it. The targeting of Caitlin Clark is no longer just a story within the league. It has become a national conversation. It is Caitlin Clark fans against the WNBA itself, and that is the worst possible outcome. Because when your largest fan base is rooting against the league, you have a real problem. Every game adds fuel to the fire. And with every cheap shot, every no call, more fans turn against the league. More voices speak out, and the WNBA's reputation takes another hit. The truth is straightforward. NBA players and fans are watching how the league handles this. And at the moment, they're not handling it at all. The WNBA's entire business depends on Caitlin Clark's success, so the league needs her. If it lets this hate spiral out of control, they risk losing everything she's built. The scary part is that if Clark is hurt or is sidelined by another attack, the damage to the WNBA could be irreversible. Therefore, the question is no longer whether the league has lost control of the Caitlin Clark hate. They have already done so. The question now is whether they can before it's too late. Can you take it back?